Namaste, beautiful souls. So, I just wanted to share something that happened yesterday, and it's related to the grieving process. So, about a year and a half ago, my father transitioned from this physical domain into spirit, and um, basically, it's been a very long journey of healing and through the grieving process. So it's been getting a lot better, and it's interesting how even although I don't believe in death, and I've been very spiritual and had a lot of awakening experiences throughout my life that have basically confirmed for me that there is no death. And I've had lots of connections, communications with the psychic realm, deceased ancestors, past ones, past loved ones, animals, all that kind of thing. And despite that, it doesn't really affect the emotional grieving process that much. So, in fact, it might even be deeper because, there is such depth of love that we can have with our soulmates, with our beloveds, that when they pass over, even if we've got that spiritual understanding that they are with us in spirit, sometimes that even in some way is very, very deeply touching and can be more pronounced on an emotional level because you still feel their energy. You still feel that they are part of your life and that you are still connected in many, many ways. And there is great beauty in that. There's so much beauty sometimes in um, just the little signs that we take as connections, the dreams, the lucid dreams where we might connect with our loved ones. A certain song coming on the radio that they sang or they played all the time. Um, so basically, what it was that was coming up was just, obviously some emotion around, missing the physical aspect, the physical connection with my father. And sorry about the alarm there. And so the emotion came up. So there was crying. And basically, as someone who has practiced a lot of, being the witness, um, knowing that I'm not that which is appearing. So when we're connecting with our source, we know that emotions and mental thoughts and all that stuff is appearing on the landscape of awareness. So everything in our experience or in conceptual reality is appearing as an appearance on the landscape of reality, the true reality, the one true reality, the true awareness that is prior to all that is experienced here in the physical domain. So when crying happens, you can just allow it to happen. You can just be aware that the body is crying. So that was the experience that I was having yesterday, was just, there's no resistance anymore. It's like if there's emotion present, it's not that you're failing in any way, spiritually speaking. It's just that, as human beings, we do have attachments sometimes to especially to those that we deeply, deeply love. And so part of the healing process through the grieving stage is the purging, the releasing of emotion and tears. And it's completely natural and completely normal. And so it's not to try and hold back or think that you shouldn't still be crying, over the loss of someone maybe 2, 3 years on, because just it can come in cycles and there can be waves, and sometimes it can just be a trigger from a piece of music or something that reminds you. of the deep love and the connection that you had. And for me, yesterday, it was coming across a memorial bench of a lady that had also passed away the year following my father, and they knew each other quite well. So that was a real kind of trigger point. And even, um, I had fond uh, connection with the lady friend as well. I knew her well, and so there was a fondness there, and um, a remembrance of my connection with her as well, and how that linked to my father. So it's like the mind's just kind of making all these connections, and then the emotions wanted to come up and be released. So what I just wanted to share with you about this really is just that, we're spirit in the body. And so when things are happening in the body, such as overthinking or emotional grief and tears and crying and things like that, it's to just be in awareness and allowing that to happen, allowing whatever's arising in this moment with full love, full unconditional love and acceptance, and embracing it. And when we embrace these emotions with love, there's something really magical that happens. It's like, because they're just allowed to be and be expressed freely. There's a transmutation in that. There's a healing in that. So when we're allowing that to just happen without judgment, and just being in the space of detached awareness, and recognizing that, oh, crying is happening. The body is crying, basically, because we are, all these chemical process that are going on in the body. I mean, we're not that, but our body is that. So basically, we can't control, what the body does. It's highly intelligent and knows what it's doing. So if it wants to have this emotional release, such as crying, um, it's just to allow that and let it be as it is. Okay, so I just wanted to share that because that was just my observation that, when the crying was happening, that it is a happening. So crying, seeing crying or emotional release as a happening to the body, it's it's the body purging, it's the body releasing. And so just allow, accept, and love. And when we don't create that resistance, the opportunity for healing is just so expansive. It's really there, it's huge, there's just such a great opportunity for healing and moving through that particular trigger or that emotion that comes up in that particular moment. Okay, so love yourself, and, just be loving with what's appearing, because it is just an appearance and it's not who you are in essence, but it is the human attachments. We do have these emotional attachments to the things that we love when we assume that our loved one is missing, MIA, missing in action. But they're not really. It's just their physical being has couldn't couldn't withstand the life anymore. That's why a lot of the diseases happen and stuff like that. It's just that the spirit can't stay in the body anymore, because the bodies are like cars and eventually they break down and things go wrong. So it's like, I mean, I'm not saying that that's to assume that, because obviously we don't want to assume these things, but it can be, it's generally a fact of life that anything in the physical deteriorates and will eventually pass away, or, change or be discarded. So you are a spiritual being in a body, and you are beautiful, you are love, and just be kind to yourself when these emotions are coming up. And I'm sending you love and light for anyone else that has, been going through the grieving process, through the transition of a loved one. So sending you love and light and blessings. Bye for now.